Today at Commander Replay, we check out this Riku of 2 Reflections deck whose entire purpose is to make multiple copies of Magmatic Force. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. And be sure to use the TCG affiliate player link as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back everyone, playing some Riku of 2 Reflections today. Kept an opening hand that looks like this. We've got 2 lands, and we've got Rampant Growth, Cultivate, Farseek, 3 visits. It's almost like our deck hasn't been shuffled at all. I know you guys hate when I talk about Shufflegate, but this is the, 3rd game I think I filmed today, and I have not had an opening hand with more than 2 lands, and I mulliganed multiple times in all of those games, so in about 7 or 8 starting hands today, all of them have been 2 lands or less. It's been a good time. And a bunch of wackiness right here, 2 lands, bunch of 2 drops, yeah. Anyway, Riku of 2 Reflections. Riku is actually a deck that I had built in paper a long time ago, like 7 or 8 years ago. That build of it was not great. The format was much less settled back then. Like now it's just very clearly like jam all the ETB creatures in there or do the more spell-based version of it. Back then, it was a little more like touch and go. There weren't millions and millions of powerful ETB creatures. There was a reasonable amount. And there were some decent ones. I think Avenger of Zendikar was still a card at that point in time. But I had a really weird build of it. It had a lot of bounce in it, so like sometimes it made sense to bounce your own creatures, other times not. It was kind of a weird deck to play. But anyway, taking another look at it today, and the main goal of this deck, in addition to just like crazy amounts of ETB and doubling every game action we take with Riku, we're going to try to get multiple copies of Magmatic Force into play, and that's how we're going to try and close this thing out. The irony being that Magmatic Force is not an ETB creature, but having 2 of them should still be really good, so that's my plan. We draw into a Hinterland Harbor. That's a decent card. Let's play the Evolving Wilds, crack the Evolving Wilds, we'll get a mountain right here. And the Keurig opponent did start the game off with a Leyline of the Void on turn 1. Yeah. It's pretty good. Shuts down a lot of different types of nonsense. Grab that mountain. And pass the turn. Lemwar Elves for the Ruric Thar. There's a Woodfall Primus. Let's play the Misty Rainforest. Crack the Misty Rainforest. We're gonna need something with some green. Let's get the Tropical Island. Then we'll play the Rampant Growth. I guess we'll get a green. Yeah, we're getting green. Yeah, we'll get a green right here. Just on the weird off chance that we need to like double up on something this coming turn. Here's a Somber Walled Sage for the Ruric Thar. We're going to be looking at a Ruric Thar very soon. Brings it back to our turn. There's a forest. What are we doing right here? I think we're going to go Hinterland Harbor. And so if we cast the 3 visits, that'll get us a forest untapped. And then we can go into the Cultivate after that. That's pretty good ramp, I think. So let's get the Taiga. Let's cast Cultivate. Got plenty of green, so we'll get blue and red right here. Put the mountain in tapped, island into the hand. Actually, let's go the other way. Oh, no, too late. Pass a turn like that, so we got some pretty good mana ramp going at this moment, but so does Ruric Thar. Keurig will, once they get their commander into play, ooh, that's a blood pet. That's part of combos, isn't it? Definitely a little nervous about that. What I think is interesting right here, so if Ruric Thar comes down, Keurig is a deck that burns a lot of its own life casting stuff. It'll be really interesting with a Ruric Thar in play. Probably going to be pretty tough for them. I would imagine that Keurig probably has to spend some removal on the Ruric Thar. We can probably manage. We have a decent number of creatures in the deck, I think about 28 or so reasonable creature composition that we can cast things that won't get us killed by Ruric Thar. Now, the problem for us also is just keeping Riku alive. People that have seen Riku before generally kill it. Because it's a commander that has the potential to spiral. You can double basically any game action you take, and that is really powerful. There's a Citizen Champion. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a counter on it, draw a card. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. There's another land. Meh, could do without that. Are we on Woodfall Primus? I'm like pretty nervous about this blood pet. We'll be on 7. Woodfall Primus is 8, so it's definitely not going to be Woodfall Primus. Let's just try our commander then. We could Farseek, but I mean, you got to play greedy, right? And try to double Farseek. We'll get a tap land right here. Get the Steam Vents tapped. And pass turn. We will need to find some card draw along the way here. Our hand is running a bit thin. Mostly we just got to find a way to that Magmatic Force. Hope Riku survives. That's kind of the plan. Here comes the Keurig. Yep. See what opponents got for us. No additional plays. They pass like that. It's fine with me. Opponent cracks a Blighted Woodland. Yep. Ruric Thar must attack each turn if able. Let's see who they perceive to be the threat. Ruric, cool. Opponent's going to block with the Blood Pet. I feel better with that being in the graveyard than in play. It's a black deck, so, you know, easy to get it back, but at least for the moment, we'll have to jump through a hoop to do it. Spring Bloom Druid for opponent. That's one that I forgot about. That could probably go in this deck. But I think we've got enough ramp that it's fine. Always got to be careful with Siona, because sometimes they just hit that combo, and then life is bad. We don't have, like, tons and tons of instant speed interaction. A lot of the... Ooh, that's a Heliod's Pilgrim. A lot of the interaction in this deck is all very sorcery speed, creature ETB type stuff. Here's Heliod's Pilgrim. Gets Kenrith's Transformation. Okay. That is not the combo. I don't know if they're playing the combo, but you always got to be nervous about it. There's a stunt double for us. I don't know that that's doing like a ton in this moment. Really I want like a card draw creature. So play the island. Let's get the Fairy Artisans. And use Riku, make a copy of Fairy Artisans? Seems like a plan, right? We are once again faced with the issue of, do we cast a Farseek and not copy it? I don't know at what point I'll be able to like really cast it and spend the 4 on it, so we'll just cast the Farseek. Oh, right, there's a Ruric Thar in play. That's going to get us. Can't copy that one. Let's get the Volcanic. We'll get one of the tap ones. Get a Sheltered Thicket. Attacks for us? No thanks. No thanks. Come on, Solemn Simulacrum. That's what I'm hoping on with these Fairy Artisans. Oh, anything that draws cards. Any ETB really should be very good. Ruric just played a Promise of Power. So Ruric Thar gets them. They lose 5 life on the draw. They do make the Demon. The Demon's a 9/9. That's pretty cool. They are down to 17. Puts a counter on Ruric. Oh, that is some damage. Wow. Ooh, Cabal Coffers for opponent. May need to shoot that. We're just going to swing over to the Siona with the Ruric Thar. Opponent's going to block with the Heliod's Pilgrim. That does make me sad. I just realized the line where we could cast Stunt Double, make a copy of Stunt Double, get the Citizen Champion, and then get the Heliod's Pilgrim, all in the name of drawing a card. I don't know that I would take that line, but it was just something I thought about that we could do. That's a Heartless Hitasugu. We're going to get 2 copies of it with Fairy Artisans. Choose one to keep. If opponent gets to tap that Heartless, then this is going to be a pretty quick game. Especially with Ruric Thar in play. Here comes a Kenrith's Transformation onto the Ruric Thar. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. Heartless still scary, though. Opponent gets to draw 2 cards right there? I'm jealous. I want to draw cards. Gift of Immortality on the Citizen Champion. That seems pretty good. It's now a 3/5 and will be very difficult to get rid of. Suppose we could Woodfall Primus it. We draw land. Not what I was looking for. Got the Stunt Double. We can kind of just sit on the Stunt Double. Play the Flooded Grove. Yeah, we'll sit on the Stunt Double, see if anything cool shows up. Could do some attacking with the Heartless. The Heartless, I think it keeps away ground creatures decently well. I don't think there's a lot of life gain in this deck. I'd really prefer to see the Heartlesses get shot. Woodfall Primus, by the way, I might have misspoke on it earlier, is non-creature permanents only. Oh, that's a Solemn Simulacrum. We did it. I don't know if we can get the card draw, though, with the fairies. What happens to this? It exiles a token, yeah, so it's probably going to be unlikely that we get to draw with the Solemns, but we're going to ramp like crazy. Start pulling lands out of our deck. So Solemn Simulacrum, Fairy Artisans will trigger twice. We get a land. Let's get an island. Get a forest. Opponent saying you're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Told them that they can swing their Ruric over to us, and we'll give them a safe attack block with the Solemn. Here comes an Expedition map. Ooh, yeah, all right. Don't like the thought of them going for a Cabal Coffers, though. Or not Coffers, Urborg. The Coffers is already in play. May need to shoot that Cabal. No attacks from opponent. If a board wipe were to happen, I would probably Stunt Double, copy it, and get another Solemn Simulacrum, because that just seems like a good idea. Opponent's going to send their Ruric Thar over to the Siona opponent. Trying to get the Ruric Thar killed. 3 visits for opponent. Fauna Shaman for opponent. Yeah, that's really good. I hope we can untap with a Fauna Shaman. That gets us to exactly the things we need. We just need some haste and the Siona to not play any creatures. Suppose we could stunt double? Yeah, we could stunt double the Fauna Shaman. That gets us to a pretty good place, I think. Oh, opponent's going to cast their Siona. It's alright. That's going to force us to use our stunt double. Does this do anything helpful to us? Look at the top 7 cards of your library. May reveal an aura from among them. Put it in your hand. The rest on the bottom in a random order. No. I just don't think there's many auras in this deck. So our Siona resolves first. There's the tooth and nail we wanted. Yep. Nothing there. Our second Siona will also resolve first. We get to keep one. Choose one of them. Nope. Nothing there either. Opponent's going to put a Shield of the Oversoul on Siona. Okay. It's going to trigger the Citizen Champion and the Siona ability. Opponent's going to attack our way. That seems fair. Fairy Artisan, really good at blocking, by the way. Just throw this token in front. Just makes a lot of bodies. This is a really cool card. Alright, end step, stunt double. Copy the Fauna Shaman. Riku trigger. Make another copy. Do we need 2 Fauna Shamans? Oh, yeah, we don't get a choice in the second one. Okay. That's fair. Love to draw a creature off the top. That'd be cool. There's a creature off the top. Well. Start by playing the land. Alright, this is where things are going to get tricky. I've got the plan that I want to do, which is just get a Magmatic Force and a clone and copy both of them. But what I should do is probably, like, ditch one of these, get an Eternal Witness, copy an Eternal Witness, get, like, a Peregrine Drake, do a whole bunch of nonsense is what I should do. Screw it. Let's have some fun. This deck's about fun. Discard a creature card. Discard the Woodfall Premise. Wouldn't hurt to get, like, a Muldrifter either. Maybe we just go for, like, 2 Magmatic Forces. Yeah, get this Magmatic Force. Cast the Magmatic Force. Oh, it's so expensive. Riku triggers. Make a copy. And I'm going to leave this second Fauna Shaman there, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen, so we'll just hang on to that. 2 Magmatic Forces. Dawn opponent's mission accomplished. Alright, then we pass the turn. Opponent's going to crack an Expedition map. Oh, this is surely going to be a problem. Well, might as well put 2 Magmatic Force triggers on him. Opponent may not want to tap that Heartless now. Did they get Urborg? Yeah, they went for Urborg. Alright. Opponent goes down to 11. They have a ton of mana, though, so Torment of Hellfire could be a real problem. Now opponent activates the Heartless. Alright, everyone's going to lose half their life. Cool. Oh my, we're down to 16. That is so low. So low. And there's a 9/9 flyer in the air. That's coming our way. Probably going to have to throw a Fairy Artisans in front of it. Yeah, that's a problem. Opponent's going to give it fear. Can't do much about that. This is going to hurt. Yep, can't block. Down to 7. What things kill us? Another tap from Heartless would be a problem. But I guess it would also be a problem for everyone else, too. Opponent makes a ton of mana. Extraplanar Lens. Yep, Diabolic Tutor. Probably... Oh, yeah, opponent's got doubled mana. Yep, that's a problem. Actually, Exsanguinate's probably better right here. Well, let's go for Damnation. Okay. We activate Fauna Shaman. Discard Inferno Titan. Oh, Diluvian Primordial? What is that? No, there's been a Leyline of the Void in play, so that's not going to do so much. Siona's indestructible. That's a thing that happened. I mean, Muldrifter feels like the card. Muldrifter's a flying blocker. Yeah, okay, I'm on Muldrifter. So Siona's still alive. We'd be able to survive 1 hit in this moment, but Mono Black player has a ton of mana. So I think they're the threat. There's a Reanimate on the Solemn Simulacrum, goes down to 2. And stops right there. Opponent says Suicide Black is suicidal. Yes, it is. Ruric Thar is back. Nice. Well, we can't cast non-creature spells, really. Gonna be on the creature plan. I think the plan right here is gonna be... Just make sure we don't have enough to do both, but it's gonna be 7 to get Riku, 5 for Muldrifter. If we catch a land off the top, we could double Muldrifter. If not, we'll have to evoke the Muldrifter. Oh no, the Magmatic Forces got exiled. They're not coming back. Oh, that makes me sad. So was Inferno Titan. Oh, well, those were the main two. Those are the ones that I wanted to win with. Opponent's gonna Lignify on the Ruric Thar. Okay. Daybreak Coronet. Uh-oh. Still hoping we're not the threat here. I can't imagine that we are. Whew. Opponent brought a Temple Garden in untapped. Goes down to 8. I guess they're probably about to gain some life back, though. Oh, hey, Spirit Mantle is a real thing. Now we can't block. Yeah, Siona's probably going to win this one. Unless Ruric Thar comes up with some magic, but we don't have much for that. The thing we did have was dumped into our graveyard and exiled. Oh, right, the Eternal Witness play wasn't going to work. Forgot about the ley line. Yeah, opponent just going to come in and kill us. Yep, down we go. So we had a brief moment of Magmatic Forces, and then they went away. All I really want to do is just make lots of Magmatic Force. Yeah, probably the main problem with this deck right now is that there's just not, like, there's not a ton of utility in the deck. Like, a Fog would probably go a long way. A little bit of life gain might not hurt either. You know, when you do run into these, like, Ruric Thar, other Punisher-type decks, anything that kind of whittles you down over time, because we didn't really take too many attacks, but just Ruric Thar damage and the Heartless. The Heartless is the big one. Opponent plays a Crux of Fate, destroys all non-dragons. Solemn Simulacrum dies, they get to draw a card. Yep. They definitely should have killed the mono-black player. I would have at least liked to have copied the Muldrifter and done that whole thing, but Mana Vault. That's a Playcrafter. That's going to get rid of this Siona. Recast Ruric Thar is the name of the game. Opponent had exactly enough mana, so they'll need to make 2 more land drops in the event that they need to cast Ruric Thar again. Siona back to play. Satyr Enchanter into play. It's got to be creatures only from the Keurig opponent. They're at 2. Keurig into play. Ancient Ruins, what is this? The beginning of each player's upkeep deals damage to that player equal to the number of artifacts they control. Well, the mono-black player is about to die. Oracle of Moldiah. Elvish Mystic on top. Ruric Thar into the Siona. Tough call. Do you block right there and go to 10? Doesn't seem great. Or go to 10. Yeah, it doesn't seem either. Both options seem bad. Opponent's going to block with their commanders, so going on the assumption that they can get their commander back and that they want the card draw from the Enchanter. Ancient Ruins trigger. Opponent's going to make... Eh? Oh, I see. Keurig activated the Rogue's Passage on the Enchanter. Siona back to play. Gets a trigger. Looks like they whiffed on that trigger. Plays a Hyena Umbra. Ooh, Totem Armor makes things big. Well, no, it makes it +1/+1. Not big enough yet, but gives it Totem Armor. Will draw a card off the Satyr Enchanter. Whew. Loses 6 life to that Ruric Thar, though. That is a cost. Opponent sends in the Satyr Enchanter to the Ruric Thar. Opponent taps up everything with the Ancient Ruins trigger on the stack. See if they got something. It seems like it'd be pretty tough to get out of this one, though. Nope, down they go. Back to Ruric Thar's turn. Shows Neheb on top. Plays the Elvish Mystic. Opponent blocks with the token. So Ruric Thar goes to combat. Opponent blocks with the token. Calyx Destiny's Hand. 6 more damage. Opponent's down to 4. Whew. The -3 seems relevant. Exile target creature or enchantment you don't control until target enchantment you control leaves the battlefield. Interesting. Not sure if they're going with that or the +4. Yeah, they're going to exile the Ruric Thar. So Ruric Thar back to the command zone. They won't be able to cast that. But now they can potentially put some auras back in play. Myth Unbound. Draw a card for the number of times your commander has been cast. Satyr Enchanter will draw a card. So your commander costs 1 less to cast for each time it's been cast. Whenever your commander is put into the command zone from anywhere, draw a card. Soul Snare. Yeah, it's going to be pretty miserable for opponent to get through. So the thing they would want now, they want some type of direct damage. They have like a burn spell. They have a Neheb on top. Not really where you want to be. Well, I guess Neheb's okay, because if you attack with Neheb, there's that Afflict 3, but still puts him 1 short. Soul Snare is a problem, though. Hellkite Tyrant on top. So, play Neheb. Oh no, I think opponent's got enough for Ruric Thar again. Oh, no, Neheb into play. And they're out of cards, and they pass. Wolf Willow Haven. Enchant land. It's a tap for mana, adds an additional, sacrifice it to create a wolf. Opponent gets to draw a card. Here's a Garruk Wildspeaker. All the value for the Siona player now. Multiple Planeswalkers. Untap some lands. Ooh, Idyllic Tutor. They might be able to finish the game with that. 12 is still a lot of damage. If opponent tapped out all their mana, they would lose from a swing from the Heb and everything else. Opponent gets a Mirari's Wake, so just looking to double up the mana. Reprobation. Enchanted creature loses all abilities. Ooh, yeah, base power 01. That's a bad time. The other thing that could happen too, if they catch 2 lands off the top with the Oracle, recasting Ruric Thar would be a thing. Opponent's coming in for 3. They're just going to block within the Heb. Yeah, I can see why you'd go for that. It's a tough call. It's not a clear answer of do you take the damage or do you buy yourself a little more time. They're thinking that they're not going to be able to get rid of that enchantment, so... opponent has an Acidic Soil on top of their deck. Damage to each player equal to the number of lands they control. That would... No, that would... I think they would survive that. Yeah, so I think they just got to hold out for a turn here. Not take too much damage. Looks like they've got about... Looks like they've got 8 lands. So they would go to 4. They need to stay above 4. Ooh, that's an Unflinching Courage. Opponent's going to get to draw a card. Means they probably have to throw the Hellkite Tyrant in front. Oh, and the life gain? They're not out of range yet. So that's 5 damage. Well, what opponent could do right here is Rogue's Passage. Make this unblockable, and then opponent is in range of their own Acidic Soil. If opponent mistaps and they use all their white mana, then opponent could come back in with the Hellkite Tyrant. Okay, so they're going for the Rogue's Passage play. This is going to make things awkward. Oh, and Overrun from the Garrick. This might do it. 8 that they can't block. 5 that tramples. 4, that one doesn't have haste. Now they can still survive. They can block with the dragon. It's not ideal. At that point, you probably play the acidic slot, the acidic soil, and go for the tie. Okay, opponent's attacking only with the Siona. This will put him to 12. Puts other opponent to 4. Siona has 9 lands in play. Okay, so that's no longer lethal. Ooh, Ruric Thar is in a bad spot now. They can't attack because of the Soul Snare. Ruric Thar has basically missed lands almost entirely with this Oracle of Moldive. There's a land, little late now for them. They're just going to Acidic Soil themselves out of the game. Yep, they had no answer to what's going on based on what's on top of their library and the plays that opponent was able to make. Opponent survives at 1. Wow. So there it is. GVR winning the match. I'm a little annoyed that we got attacked when the mono black player seemed like much more the threat. I know their life total was low, but they had double mana and Cabal Coffer's Urborg in play, so like we were going to cast a Muldrifter. And I mentioned that, like, the things in this deck are not amazing. Magmatic Force is about as good as it gets. I didn't run all of these super bland green creatures, Terastodon, Avenger of Zendikar, Craterhoof. I didn't run any of that nonsense because it's just super boring to me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.